Zinchenko, like, why are you bringing on Zinchenko?
Sterling didn't even get on.
Arsenal we just seem to not be creating anything at the moment.
When we went 1-0 down, I think we just kind of knew that we weren't going to score, we weren't going to win.
We weren't out of the races at all.
Mo Salah, I think we can.
So, mate.
Right, good evening everyone. Thank you for joining me for another episode of the At Top Cinco pod. I appreciate all the love and comments and likes and shares and everything we've been getting so far, so continue to do so. And that is literally at Top Cinco pod. Make sure you check out us on YouTube, on TikTok and on Instagram as well. This evening I've got a new guest with me, a fellow Arsenal fan, brother from another. It's Jack Donaldson.
Thanks, mate. Thanks for having me.
No problem at all. Thank you for joining me. Like I said, Jack is an Arsenal fan, and we're going to get straight into it because we were a bit moody this weekend. We were away to Newcastle, who have won 2 of their last 3 games against Arsenal, but they were winless in their last 5 Premier League games. So for them to turn up against us was very frustrating. Jack, did you see the game and what did you think?
Yeah, I watched it. It was a frustrating and boring game, I'd say. Again, there wasn't a lot in it, but Arsenal we just seem to not be creating anything at the moment.
Yeah,
I think Eddie Howe seems to have Arsenal's number at the moment. He played Joel Linton and who was it?
Willock.
Yeah. That was it.
Former Gooner.
That's it. Former Gooner. He was loving life, I'm sure.
Yeah, literally.
And basically just doubled up on Saka and Martinelli. We had no overlapping runs.
Yeah.
Everything played centrally. You block it and it seems to work out.
It was a tough game. It was one of those that, you know, when you watch Arsenal and as an Arsenal fan, you kind of know, like, when we went 1-0 down, I think we just kind of knew that we weren't going to score. We weren't going to win.
We weren't out of the races at all.
We just weren't at it at all. And when you're away to Newcastle and they're bang on it, you have to be bang on it as well. And we just weren't. We can't afford to drop any more points now. Like, when you actually look at the table, you know, we're 10 games in.
Yep. And
Liverpool already have that lead.
And we've got 2 tough games coming up. We've got Chelsea and then we got Nottingham Forest.
No.
So it's...
We have, like, I don't even think, like, not getting 6 points is an option from them 2 games, if I'm being completely honest.
If you want to spin a positive, it's early enough in the season that we go in on a City-type run.
Yeah. But do we have a City-type run in us?
Well, we get my Odegaard back. Everyone stays fit. I reckon we could do a City-type run, do 15 games on the bounce. I reckon it's possible.
It's possible. He's done unbeaten before.
Hey, that's it. And like, we were up until this period, we were unbeaten in 2024.
Yeah.
So it is possible.
Yeah.
But again, the pressure's building. I think
everyone's getting stronger in the Premier League as well.
Everyone's getting stronger. City will get stronger with the injuries coming back.
Yeah.
Liverpool, if they stay fit, will be bang at it. I think there's a lot of teams below that can cause issues for the bigger teams.
Yeah.
I think probably in my head it's going to be an 80-point sort of title winning team. I don't think it'll be.
It's not going to be a high team because everyone's beating everyone.
No, and I think there's a lot of
really competitive.
100%. And yeah, I don't know what it is about Arteta. He just seems to not trust certain players.
Yeah,
and it kills us.
You see it.
I would have taken a gamble and put an Nenweri in. He seemed like a creative spark. Give him, I know it was only Preston, but give him some juice because he seems to be the only player that can play in midfield that has that little spark about him.
He wants to create something. Yeah, wants to do something. Wants to be attacking. Wants to be positive.
And then can't play Partey right back. It's as simple as that.
You're not having Uncle Partey at right back.
No,
he's done the job. He's
him.
Done what he's needed to do, or what's been expected. Obviously, their goal is, you know, he's kind of won his header, but it's like into the central area, out wide to Gordon, and what a cross that is, by the way.
Yeah, you can't argue with a goal. Like, centre back should be closer, but in a nutshell, it was a great cross. Timing was perfect.
2 great pairing at the moment as well. You know, everyone singing and dancing about them. But then, you know, you have to call them out when that kind of stuff happens as well, because you've let one striker get in between the 2 of you, and he's free header, and he's put them ahead.
And our defence has gone to shot. Like we used to, Arteta. So I feel like he's getting so focused on being defensively strong, we're losing that flair that we had on the first season that we challenged
Exciting,
City.
yeah. It's I get it. Most teams that win a Premier League have a very, very solid defence. It's the basis of what you need to be able to be champions, but it's not
At what cost?
Yeah,
that's what you got to think about. We've had one shot on target in the last 2 away games. No, one shot each game. But yeah, so 2 shots on target in the last 2 away games.
That's mental. And Declan Rice has got a score as well at the end of the game there.
100%. Yeah, again,
it's not enough. It's not good enough.
That's the issue though. Where's the goal coming from Arsenal? We're talking about Rice not scoring. Like, where is Havertz? Nothing created for him. Same with Martinelli. Love Martinelli, but at what point do you say, well, when are you going to sort out your final ball?
Yeah.
Saka, I can't fault Saka, but he can't do it on his own.
Yeah.
What Saka as well needs is essentially a triangle. White overlapping him always gives him so much space to actually find that cross that we saw a couple of times.
Going to overlap.
Nope, he keeps coming inside. Everything's congested.
So obviously Mikel must know what he's doing when he's playing that system. Like,
I think Marino. Oh no, I know he's a new signing, but he doesn't look like a Xhaka type for me at the moment.
Maybe he's still,
maybe he's finding his feet, but at the moment
we'll give him time.
He's not breaking those lines and making those runs.
He desperately wanted him, so you must have. And you know what's funny? He's former Newcastle as well.
Exactly, yeah.
This is mad.
And then again, some of the subs. I mean, I don't. Zinchenko. Like, why are you bringing on Zinchenko?
Sterling didn't even get on.
I mean, yeah, I think again that's a bit of a failure.
Like,
yes, we got him.
So there was a sympathy signing, like just.
No, I think it was more like, we'll pick him up because he's free, essentially, in a nutshell.
For a season,
maybe we can do it.
But then again, it's a long season. It is a long season. We're 10 games in. Football can change like that. And players, confidence, injuries, all that kind of stuff. So let's see what happens with Raheem. I'm hoping that some good will come of that loan signing.
Again, but though he needs to get time.
Yeah.
And whether Arteta don't think he's fit enough or isn't the right thing, like, you just question what Arteta's thinking in terms of we seem to play the same players every game, and then especially with the sort of schedule, you're going to get injuries, so you're not going to be able to do that. So
Arteta needs to be managing this squad a little bit better, you're saying as well.
Yeah, I mean, Saka and I think Ben White, they come on 2-0 up against Preston. Why are you coming on and then White doesn't start? I think it was White. I might have been wrong. But why doesn't in the end start against Newcastle? Yeah. It just seems a bit strange.
Yeah. That's exactly what
sort of thing.
I'll tell you what else was strange was Man City getting beat by Bournemouth. 2-1. That's a great result for Bournemouth. They're flying at the moment. A couple of other strange results. Well, I say strange, but Forest are flying as well. 3-0 against West Ham. I mean,
I've been sort of. I thought
hands pulled down West Ham, mate. It's really been a bit of a shocker what's going on there this season.
Yeah, I thought Lopetegui was a good fit, but West Ham seem to always have this thing where they have a British manager who does all right, but the West Ham fans think, like we should be playing beautiful football.
Yeah, we should be doing better. They're entitled, aren't they?
Essentially, I think so. I don't like. They're going back to Bobby Moore days. Like I don't really get where this comes from.
Yeah.
That like Moyes did a solid job. Yeah, was it great football? No, but he got the job done. He had Allardyce before that.
Yeah.
And every time we try to kick on with a different manager, it seems to bite him in the arse.
Yeah, it hasn't worked.
And then they go back to the British manager to keep him up and keep him safe.
So
it's like a vicious circle. Yeah.
Sort it out, West Ham, mate. You're not a mess right now. You're an absolute mess. Chris Wood is having fun, scoring again. Guy is just on fire. Hudson-Odoi getting himself on the score sheet. He's really enjoying himself there at the City.
Yeah, I mean, again, I think Santo's done a solid job. He's gone back to basics.
Yeah.
I like he had an interview with on Match of the Day. He said at the back that's where it starts. Yeah. And I think a lot of teams and everyone seem to have forgotten about that.
I mean, how solid is that Milenkovic?
Great signing. I think it was only 15 mil.
Great. I saw him in the Euros.
Yeah.
He was solid. I think Serbian.
Yeah, I think so.
He was solid for them, and I'm like, when they signed him, decent because they just put him next to Murillo, who had a good season last season.
Definitely,
and them two together.
Oh, mate, they're kicking on.
Yeah, they really are kicking on. And then shout out to Ola Aina as well, fellow Niger man. That was a great strike from him.
Yeah, helped my fantasy out. I'll take it.
Yeah. Was he in your?
Yeah, mate.
Ola Aina's in your team, you little bastard. Fair play to you.
15 points, mate. Nice and easy.
Okay, decent. A couple of other results. Southampton getting their first. We'll give them a quick mention because they got their first win of the season. That was a big win against Everton.
Yeah, it was. I mean, it's typical Dyche. They go on a run and then they lose against a team that they shouldn't have.
It's poor.
But again, Southampton. You think maybe Ben Narak. I think maybe you could argue getting sent off. Because Beto went through.
I saw that. I saw that.
Got a yellow.
And Dicey was saying that should have been a.
I mean, you could. I think you can argue
the consistency of the Premier League.
I think you can argue either way. If you're Everton or Southampton fan, you can argue either way. So
it's unfortunate for them, but the Saints got their first 3 points, and then Liverpool. We'll touch on Liverpool as well because that was a great weekend for them. Not only did they win against Brighton, being 1-0 down, they capitalised on Arsenal and City losing as well, and. all you can do is pick up the points when
But you beat what's in front of you and
see what happens.
And obviously Mo Salah.
Yeah, worked out. Mo Salah, fucking African king, mate.
That's it, mate. And I think Liverpool been left in a really good position. I think Slot's done really smart in terms of how he's managed that. He's changing things slowly.
Yeah,
and he's not coming.
He hasn't even really spent either.
No, I mean,
imagine what he could Obviously, the team was pretty much set from Jurgen anyway. But imagine what he could potentially do, man.
Oh yeah, 100%. I mean, you got a lot of aging players in that team. Though. That's the only issue. You'd maybe argue, but I think it'll be interesting. Konate out is a big loss.
Yeah,
Kwanzaa, I don't think Slot trusts. He played 45 minutes and hasn't really had a look in the Prem since.
Gomez came on, but you reckon he's got an injury in him?
Oh, 100%. Like I said, it'll be 2-3 games and his hamstring will go or something. He's a good player, he just can't stay fit.
Yeah. Well, we'll see what happens there, but we obviously don't really want them to be continuing the way they are because they are quietly going about their business, and Arnie's doing all right. He's doing all right.
We need the City to happen.
Yeah.
So get a load of injuries.
Pep
moan about
load them up.
It,
we're going to go on to Super Sunday now. Tottenham against Aston Villa 4-1. Great result for Spurs. Being 1-0 down as well at home. Obviously, it would have been a bit anxious for them, but it was important that they got that goal.
Yeah, I think it scored at the right time, but Spurs at home seem to love going 1-0 down. I think
it's like they want to entertain their fans, don't they?
Yeah,
it's like this lovely new stadium. Why are you going to come here and watch something boring? Let's give you something to really, enjoy.
You'd like to think that's the case. I'm not too sure it is. I think it's more they need a kick up the arse. That's what it seems like. I think they broke a record by doing it. I think it's like the 8th time in a calendar year they've come from behind.
From behind to win a game.
Yeah.
Wow.
Something along that.
Let's talk about resilience.
Yeah, that's it.
It sounds Spursy.
Yeah, but again, against the higher teams, going 1-0 down, are you gonna always be able to turn that around? And that's the big question.
Well, Ange has got himself. It's weird with him there because they have some weeks and some games where they look almost unstoppable when they're going forward, and then they will turn around the next week and be absolute dog shit.
Yeah, I mean, like Palace last
get their pants pulled down, or have a very disappointing result. I don't want to say that's the nature of the Premier League, but that just seems how Spurs are as well at the moment.
Yeah, I think so. I think the main thing for them is consistency. I think they've got flown under the radar a bit lately. I think the results are picking up for them lately.
Performance is picking up as well. Dom Solanke, 2 goals. Maddison.
That's a Maddison. Yeah, again, I think Kulusevski's basically pinched Maddison's place.
What a mate! He is a player.
Yeah,
he's having 100%. He's having a very good season for them. And in that newish role that he's playing for Spurs, he looks.
Right, he's got the freedom to go about and do what he wants.
He's such a good dribbler as well.
Yeah.
Not the fastest player.
Quick feet.
Not the fastest player, but his footwork and his dribbling is very, very good.
Yeah,
he's effective for them, and that looks like Ange's kind of done well popping him in there.
Yeah, I think so. But hopefully they fall flat on their faces.
What do we think at Tottenham?
I still think they're going to be struggling to get into sort of top 5.
Yeah. You reckon top 5?
I think it's going to be a struggle.
They're too inconsistent.
I think you got Brighton. I think will be sniffing about it. Forest, obviously an unknown at the moment. They've had a great start.
Chelsea, sniffing.
Chelsea. You expect the top 3 to be City, Arsenal. Mind you, we need to pick up
we could end up falling out of that and dropping down as well, mate. We don't want to be doing that.
Results when I think if Brighton, results went against us this last weekend, we would have been 8th.
Boy, that's how quickly the Premier League can change as well. But like I said, it's a long season, so we will see. Another team that's having a long season so far, when it's only 10 games in, is Man United. They have appointed a new manager, the former Sporting geezer, Amarin,
I'd say, yeah. Probably butchering it. Like, I'd say like
Ruben Amarin.
Yeah.
And his first game against the Big Six is 4th of December, away to Arsenal.
Yeah.
That'll be interesting because he put Arsenal out of the Champions League. Sorry, put some respect on our teams. We're back in the Champions League since last season. He put us out, so that's his first big game again. Like I said, against one of the bigger boys. Be interesting to see where United are at that stage, because you would have liked to have think, or United fans would like to think, he would have slowly been making his mark in that transitional period there at the club from when he joins in like a week's time, I think.
I think it was after the international break he joined. It'll be interesting. He's got a massive. It is.
Massive job. It's always a massive job when you go to a team like Man United, but when you go to a team like Man United and you're going there after the recent events of previous managers as well, and the names that have been there, it's a big fucking job. So
I mean, they got to give him time.
Yeah,
I think he, like I said, he knows a few of the players from his time at Sporting.
Yeah,
I think it's going to be a big job. I expect Arsenal to beat them, if I'm honest.
Yeah.
But they just. I don't know. They just seem like a club that's been rotting inside out since Fergie left.
It's funny for us to see, but at the same time, it's just like, bro, what's going on with United, man? When you see that, it's fucking mad, isn't it?
Well, that's the thing as a manager, isn't it? Everyone, I think, a few people say, well, Fergie wasn't a coach, but he was a manager, and he picked the right people to go into the right positions at the right time.
Yeah,
and they've lost that because obviously Fergie had that
final
say.
Yeah,
and I think they've employed a few clowns.
They haven't had a proper gaffer.
And they love paying for a manager.
They do. 60 million, I believe, they've spent on managers since Fergie has left, which is quite a bit of dosh for your gaffer, and no success. Well, FA Cup.
It's like 10 years, isn't it?
Ten Hag, mate. Ten Hag won you trophies, actually. Don't forget that. Put some respect on his team.
Yeah, but they didn't have an identity, so
it was a mess. Just pissing around. But yeah, like you said, the link up from Sporting to Man United is a little trend. We'll go through a little trend of it right now. So Cristiano Ronaldo was Sporting to United. We've had Bruno Fernandes. That's how we say his name, by the way. Put some respect on his team, Fernandes. Luis Nani.
Yep.
Sporting to Man United. Ugarte's played for Sporting and is now at Man United.
Yep.
We've got Rojo, who played. He wasn't great, was he? But Rojo from Sporting, and he played for United as well.
Argentinian Mike Maguire. Yes.
Now you've got the gaffer, Amarin from Sporting to Man United. So hopefully, they're going to be hoping that all these other link ups that they've got with Nani, Fernandes, Ronaldo, probably your best ones. Ugarte yet to be, still to be confirmed. Rojo, I don't know what United fans would say about that, but they're probably hoping that it's going to be another nice link up.
I think with Portuguese clubs, like I don't know how they do it, but they seem to be like one of the best feeder leagues.
Yeah, man.
In the world, I would say. The amount of players you could list off. And not even just in the Prem.
That's like a whole new episode that we can do for that.
Yeah, like they're ridiculous.
Talk about like the Portuguese coming and doing bits in the Prem.
Because it's not even that, it's their scouting. They always seem to buy someone for 10 mil and then sell them for 60 or something.
Oh yeah, the business is 10-10 business.
Yeah, 100%.
Right, we are going to move on to our next point. So, as you have played football before, and your position was as a defender, centre back, left back. Firstly, give us a little lowdown of your career, and then I've got a question for you, mate.
No worries. So yeah, obviously started quite young. I was about 5 when I played my first game. 2 older brothers, so wanted to be involved straight away.
Yeah.
My first game, my dad said I was playing centre back. Don't let anyone pass. So next thing I know, I was rugby tackling people. I wasn't really sure how you play football. I didn't realise you meant to just use your feet.
Yeah.
I had it in my mind no one was getting past me. So
you took that literally.
Yeah, literally. Yeah. So luckily enough, I sort of learned that's not how you play the game.
Yeah.
And then just obviously played around youth leagues and everything like that. And then sort of when I was about 10, 11, 12, I signed for Wycombe Wanderers.
Yeah.
So they had sort of like a development, I can't remember, it wasn't an academy, there was another
Centre of Excellence.
Yeah, I think lower down in the league.
Yeah.
And then I played there for about a year and a bit.
Yeah.
And
interestingly, you didn't stay there, did you? You decided that you weren't enjoying it and you wanted to kind of pack it in there.
No, that's the thing. Like in the team, it was very individuals, so I wasn't used to that. Like, I was playing with my mates, enjoying myself.
Yeah.
Like you win as a team, you lose as a team. But in that sort of environment, it was very, if anything went wrong, it felt like they were trying to blame someone
you get
straight
hammered
away
for it, basically.
So it'd be obviously.
Was it quite demoralising? Would you say?
Yeah, especially when because players are quick to blame you for their mistakes.
Yeah.
So you're like
no accountability, no ownership, really.
No. And there was no like.
And you found that frustrating?
Yeah, I found it frustrating. I found it sort of, like I said, just started not to enjoy my football. It was such a weird transition.
Did it feel like a chore? You didn't feel like you was enjoying it. Like you said, you didn't feel like you were enjoying it. So it was.
Yeah, I didn't look forward to going to the thing. Like, and again, like obviously, people don't remember. Like you have to travel to a lot of places, and like traveling 2-3 hours on a Sunday when you're not looking forward to playing in the match, because
that is long. Like, doing the hours just to travel, playing, hating the game, and then coming home and you were miserable. Were you miserable? Would you say?
I wouldn't say miserable, because I think that's too much. I was 11. I still at school. I was still like mucking about. Yeah. So it was just to play football. It wasn't very fun. And at that time, I have to say, like, Wycombe went in a great pace in terms of academy. We turn up and we get battered a few times.
Oh, okay.
And that's
demoralising as well.
Yeah, on top of that, and it's not something I was used to, because I always played in good teams leading up to that.
Yeah, exactly.
But it was, again, it's something I'll probably look back now, and if I had a chat with myself, stick it out longer.
Yeah.
Because you never know, you come out the other side, anything could have happened. Someone else could have tried to pinch you, or anything like that. So you don't know. Maybe you should have stuck.
You never know who's watching as well. That's the thing with football.
Exactly.
You actually never know.
And it's opportunity as well. Like that was a better opportunity to get spotted by a team.
Yeah.
Than playing for my local team.
Yeah, of course.
Because they were just going to have more coaches and anything involved.
But you talk about your local team. Your dad obviously was the founder of Eldon Celtic. For those who don't know, it's a big side here in the southeast, Berkshire, Reading area. And you've also played with some good players as well. There's a couple of names that you've played with that are pros.
Yeah.
Drop some names, mate. Name drop.
So first one will be Jed Wallace.
Yeah.
Again, I didn't play for him for an extended period. It was more sort of, I think it was around about 6 months.
Yeah.
And when we were at Farnborough, and I think he played for Eldon a couple of times.
Yeah. Arsenal tournament. Everyone knows about the Arsenal tournament. What a tournament that was.
First time I played.
And what position was he when you played with him?
Centre mid. You could tell, like, it's when you at that age, you could tell when there's a player who's different on a different.
Oh,
level.
really? Was he?
He was on a different.
Decent
level.
like that.
Yeah.
Okay.
Like probably like in person, like one of the best players I played with.
Yeah. Okay.
But yeah, he's now West Brom.
Captain of West Brom.
captain of
which
West
is
Brom,
big, like that. And he's like, you would say that you can now call him because it was at Millwall. He did numbers at Millwall. He was like probably a fan favorite there as well. That's why he got that move to West Brom. So he's had a very sturdy football career.
Oh, I'd love to have his
career. Yeah, exactly. And then who's the other name that you played with?
The other one was I played with more sort of over a good period probably from the age of 10, 11. I was Darnell Fisher.
Yeah. And he was one that you like. We never like. I obviously had the experience of your dad when he was taking us to football. Like somebody pick up Darnell would be in the car. We'd be in the same car basically and stuff. And I never thought he would be one that would have gone on to make it pro.
No,
if I'm being completely honest, and he probably would have he'd probably even say that as well. Maybe I have to try and get him on here. To be fair, that would be good. But
if you said at the age of 11. Would Darnell make it? Not a Scooby.
Yeah, you're thinking that.
He was a great player. You could read the football pitch like really insanely well.
Yeah.
But it was obviously a bit of discipline, like mucking about, stuff like that. But it just goes to show, like, you never know who's watching. He got picked up in a random game that my dad organised with Jimmy.
And how he's probably like 15 or 16 when he got.
Yeah, 16.
16 when he got picked up. That's sick.
It's a team called Jimmy Johnson's Academy.
Yeah.
They come down to play Eldon because they were doing the tour of the southeast.
Yeah,
they like Darnell and another guy called Lewis. They invited them up to Scotland to play.
That's cold.
In a tournament against sort of Celtic, Aberdeen, sort of their sort of academies.
Yeah,
and then sort of Celtic saw him, and I was like, we want to get you on trial. And then next thing you know, sitting on the bench at Barcelona in the Champions League.
About mate, yeah. Flipping, he's had Champions League appearances. He's won leagues. He's been under some half decent gaffers as well.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's a great name, to be fair. And again, we didn't think that he'd be one that made it. And
no, unfortunately, got a knee injury, so obviously he's now retired, I believe, which is a shame.
But he definitely made a good career for himself.
Oh yeah, 100%. Yeah.
Good to see, man. Guys from Reading coming through and doing the thing.
And it's also a nice claim to fame for me.
Exactly. So, as a defender yourself, I have got a list here of centre-back pairings, which was made by the Sun. That's not who I really, follow, if I'm being completely honest. I just saw it on Insta and I was like, oh, this is good. Got a defender coming on, and this is the best Premier League centre-back partnerships. This is based on goals conceded per game, and then Premier League games as pairings. So I'm going to run through the list, and then I'm going to ask Jack to give me his top 3 of the centre-back pairings. So first on the list, we've got Campbell and Toure, the Invincible partnership. Then we've got Ferdinand and Vidic, United. Keown and Adams, Arsenal. Terry and Carvalho, Chelsea. Lescott and company at City. Van Dijk and Matip, Liverpool. And then Gabriel and Saliba. So, out of those pairings, what are your thoughts first and foremost? And then if you want to give me your top 3, mate.
I mean, I would say the bottom 3 we could get rid of straight away. I would say Gabriel, Saliba.
Yeah,
they're doing well. They're a strong defensive pairing, but not won anything. So I'm not really having them on the list, if I'm honest.
Okay. Too early for you guys.
Too early, and we need to win something.
Yeah.
I feel like again.
I hear it.
It's 2 years that they've been playing together.
Yeah.
I don't think they should be the best centre back pairing.
Okay, I hear it.
I mean, and then Van Dijk, yes. Matip, no. So yes, in terms of. I didn't rate. I never.
They played 72 games together.
I never rated Matip. I don't think he was a great defender.
Really?
No.
When he was fit and he was on his game, bro, I think them two together was.
I don't know. I think Van Dijk made him look obviously good. Yeah. I think you could put Pascal Seagon or someone next to Van Dijk and he'd make him look good.
Yeah. You just think that's kudos to Van Dijk.
Yeah, 100%.
How much of a colossal defender that
I think
he was/is.
Yeah, Matip. For the price he come in, say great
free
sign.
transfer, wasn't it?
Great sign. Yeah.
So,
but
that as a pairing isn't bad in terms of you look at it at business, but you're okay. That's not you, not for you.
Not for me. And Lescott company, I think it's a similar scenario. I think Lescott was a decent defender.
Do you think company brought him up?
Company brought him up, and I would hedge a bet and say they won one league in that pairing. and I think that was that first league where they brought in Aguero, who I think he probably scored more goals. Than
Aguero's a beast. What a beast! So your top three then? Who's your top three?
I would go Ferdinand and Vidic.
Yeah.
I think they were just insane together.
Yeah.
I think just power. Both of them could play. I know sort of Vidic isn't remembered for that, but he was
proper defenders though.
Proper
defender,
yeah.
Getting past them, steal.
My second, I would say Terry and Carvalho.
Yeah,
I think
the numbers. I say numbers. The goals that were conceded.
Yeah.
When them two are centre backs, like the numbers were low. Yeah. Hella low.
I think
like the clean sheet record that Czech had. That was his centre back pairing.
Was it? I think it was like 15 goals in the Prem season.
It was how? Like when you actually hear that, you're just like, how?
Yeah.
And it was them two. Like them two were just monsters together.
100%.
The second most games in terms of the pairings that we mentioned, they played 87 together. The highest was Ferdinand and Vidic at 118. So there's no.
And also,
wonder why you've chosen them.
You chuck on them as well in terms of their goal contribution. I would say because both of them had a goal in them.
Yeah, definitely. And then your third.
Third, it would be.
It's got to be
Campbell and Toure, obviously.
Yeah.
I think Campbell.
Invincibles.
Campbell and Toure. I think they're both sort of beasts. They're both athletic, both strong, both quick. Like it's sort of if. They're almost suited to today's game.
Yeah.
They could leave two centre backs. 2-on-2 with the two forwards. Yeah.
Monsters at the back, and you know that you're confident that they've got this basically.
Yeah, and then you had sort of Gilberto Silva in there, like that triangle was just ridiculous.
It was protected. They were
100%. And like I said, not conceding enough goals to get beaten is something as well.
Exactly. Right, Jack, we're gonna look to wrap it up on this last bit, which is going to be, and this is what I'm looking forward to as well as an Arsenal fan, is who you think is your all-time favourite Arsenal 11.
Right,
let's go.
Well, for Arsenal, it's got to be a 4-3-3. Literally played that up pretty much since I've grown up, apart from maybe the Henry Bergkamp days when you had the 4-4-2.
Yeah.
So up top, I already mentioned him. It'd be Bergkamp.
Okay.
Loved the way he played.
Down the middle.
Down the middle. He'll be dropping in, and I have my two wingers going past him.
Yeah.
He was just
wingers / inside forwards, as we call them now.
That's it. Yeah. I just loved this Bergkamp. Still to this day, one of the greatest goals I've ever seen. There's a couple he scored for Arsenal.
Yeah.
Got the one again for Holland as well.
Ian Wright could have been down the middle, but
I get a bit too before my time.
Yeah.
I maybe saw his last season, but then you're not taking it in.
Okay.
But I appreciate that. Like he was a goal scorer.
Yeah.
He was.
All right. So Dennis the Bergkamp's down the middle. So who are your two forward men?
Well, for me, I'll start with obviously the obvious one. It's Henry on the left.
Yeah. Goes without saying.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
For me, you don't need to say
back in the day
anything else about him.
Yeah.
I think best Prem player ever.
Yeah.
I mean, the only one you could probably come close to him, I'd say, in terms of wingers, it would be Salah.
Yeah.
I think,
African King. What a player he is as well.
I think those two
sensational, mate.
Are ridiculous in terms of the numbers that they put up.
That
goals and assists. I think that's what people forget about.
Yeah.
He won the Golden Boot, Henry, and
Salah had 20 and Salah was here, went away, then came back.
Yeah.
And then showed everyone what he could do as well. So that was really impressive what he did. But Thierry Henry was an absolute given. So Henry, Bergkamp.
And then I'd go Saka.
Okay.
It's a bit of a new one.
Some might say that's a bit early.
I don't think so. Like he's consistently for the last 4 years been, I would say, near to being Arsenal's best player, if not Arsenal's best player.
Okay.
He's getting better in terms of his stats, everything.
Doing it for England as well.
I just think he takes everything on his shoulder. He's only 23.
Okay.
I just don't think. I think he should be.
Some people may say Alexis Sanchez should have got maybe a little nod in there over him.
Yeah, I think for me, Sanchez was just too frustrating to watch.
Okay.
I think he was good. Yeah,
it was also very frustrating.
Yeah, and I loved him, but again, he was very frustrating. He was in a bad team as well.
Yeah.
So he had to do a lot of things by himself. And I don't know. After that, he never really kicked on. Like went to United, did fuck all.
Yeah, and it just went downhill from there.
Yeah,
well, he won the league with Inter, I think, but he was a bit part player.
Exactly,
anyway.
and
wasn't the Sanchez of Arsenal anyway.
And I prefer Starboy, obviously, in it. I think he's a better player.
Front three, we've got Starboy Saka, we've got Dennis Bergkamp, and we've got Thierry Henry.
That's correct.
Who is in your midfield?
So, 2 pushing forward, I'd have Vieira.
Yeah.
Driving, absolute beast.
Beast of a player, yeah.
I love watching him against him versus Roy Keane. And like he just technically he as they say, I don't really get it, but he's got a good touch for a big man sort of thing. I never understand that. Do you know what I mean? It doesn't matter whether he's big or not. He's a good player.
They just expect players that are taller of a lanky stature to not be as techy, but yeah.
And I remember growing up putting the Vicks on your chest.
Yeah,
everyone started doing that.
That was Patrick's thing, wasn't it?
And then beside him, I would have loved to see them play together in their prime, but Fab, so as I say.
Cesc Fabregas.
Yes, it was
unreal.
Like the vision.
What a player. At 16 to come through and did what he did at Arsenal, and then kick on the way he did as well.
Oh, 100%. I love watching him play. He wasn't just a pretty player, like I'd say in Iniesta in terms of passing and everything. Like Fab had a bit of bite about him. He loved getting into a challenge.
No, yeah.
Always
he had a fiery side to him. Him and Frank Lampard never used to get on.
Exactly, yeah.
They had
the pizza gate. He's the one who chucked the pizza.
Fergie, mate.
That's it, mate.
That was ballsy from a young Fabregas. That's funny.
So I would say him. He's probably in terms of I'd say centre mids. He's probably one of the best we've ever had.
So Fabregas and Vieira, and then who's the other?
Yep, and then behind them I'd have Gilberto sitting.
Yeah, just holding.
Yeah, just
protecting that back foot.
Did nothing fancy, but was solid as anything.
And he did it for that Brazil team in the 2002 World Cup. For those who probably didn't see it or don't remember, he was vital for them.
I think so.
What a player!
And I think I think he sort of Makelele essentially created that role. Everyone thinks, but I think he was doing it a lot sooner.
Okay.
But we'll leave it like that.
We'll leave it there on that one.
I do love Makelele. That's not a slight on him.
Let's go to your back line then.
So on the right, both right and left back. I think there's only really one choice for either one.
Yeah.
I think you got to go Lauren in terms of what he did.
Yeah.
I think he was essentially he was a right-sided Ashley Cole. They're both of them palm forward, strong, athletic, powerful,
solid.
And I think he obviously he was part of the Invincibles, one of the most successful periods for Arsenal.
Right back, right back Lauren, and then left back. He said goes without saying
it's Ashley Cole.
Yeah,
unfortunately, I don't know how it ended. Ashley Cole, as they say, but he was a world class player.
Flipping Cashley, mate. Honestly, he broke hearts, mate, when he made that move because he was loved by the Arsenal fans.
Yeah. And what would have been if we kept him for the next season?
He went on, won his trophies, did what he did. He was obviously a great international for England as well. But Cashley, let's just not talk about him any further.
That's it.
Fullbacks, we've got Cashley and Lauren.
I think,
And then centre backs.
I would go Sol Campbell, I think.
Yeah.
Just again another monster.
Big Son. Big,
strong. It went a bit awry at the end. Obviously, West Ham finished him off.
Yeah.
Bobby Zamora, I still remember that. That's it. He was down the tunnel at half time and never come back.
Oh God. Sullivan.
But I think
but he was. He had a great career for Arsenal.
In his prime, he was a beast.
And he did it for Spurs as well. That's why he managed to get that move, I guess. So.
Yeah, and it was nice to be on the other side of a rival moving to us rather than
winning the trophy.
Exactly, rather than seeing
moving
so much. Like literally, I could probably name 10 players that went on and
it's horrible.
Trophies.
We don't want that association, so let's keep it moving. Give me the other centre back.
So this one I would say a bit rogue in terms of the centre backs we had. Obviously, you have Kolo Toure, you have Tony Adams. I mean, people try and say Keown, but I won't be having that.
I'd probably say maybe Koscielny over Keown.
You have Koscielny again, but I feel like Koscielny was the best of a bad bunch.
Yeah, Vermaelen, but he had too many injuries. But yeah, you don't like Kia, and so you probably say, would you say, what did I say? Koscielny over Kia?
Oh, 100%. Like, that's just, I wouldn't even hesitate.
Okay, fair enough.
I did it. I thought Keane was awful.
So, who's your other centre back?
So, for me, again, from the current team, I would go Gabriel. I think, in terms of the last 3 years,
he really has kicked on, because I thought he was our weak link in terms of the centre backs whenever he played.
Yeah, I think
you put your danger man on Gabriel. That's where you're going to get your joy. He's clumsy. He'll give you a foul, and I just didn't feel really confident.
I had that mistake in him.
It's just now he really has matured as a player, which has been.
I think so, and like I would say, it's almost flipped now. Like Saliba seems to be getting a little bit
bit too confident,
or whether it's that or just panicking a bit. Like
I think it might be. I think
because it's the first time I feel like his confidence may have been knocked in his sort of career in terms of
the sending off as well. He's probably thinking, "Oof."
Yeah, so it'd be. I obviously want him to bounce back, but I think Gabriel has been absolutely solid. Yeah. Probably one of our players of the season this so far. Yeah, and I would put him just because I like the way he plays as well. He's aggressive, high on his sleeve.
Okay,
and he gets a goal, doesn't
he? So that's our back line sorted. So we've got Lauren, Ashley Cole, fullbacks, and we've got Gabriel and Sol Campbell.
That's it.
That is a pretty fucking strong defense. And then
the
sticks
again, there's only one choice, unfortunately. It's David Seaman. FA, I still remember to this day one of the greatest saves I've seen for FA Cup against Sheffield United. Yeah.
The way he's
I don't know how that's still to this day stayed out. That was before you had the plastic bits behind the goalkeepers.
Finger save or
something like that. Just help stop your hand getting bent back.
But then even people's fingers were getting broken from that. But it was wild.
And I think he was like. There's no one really that we can compare in my era anyway. Yeah.
We obviously had some names that went on, and Fabianski had great clean sheet records at West Ham and had some good performances. Then you're just like, well, you didn't do that for us. Chesney, he went and he won away from us again. Another player that's won away from Arsenal, but
you say Fabianski won the Europe Conference rather. And Almunia, that's the thing. All of them just had a mistake in them. So even more recently, Ramsdale, as soon as he could put pressure.
But he joined us way too late, and he just wasn't the check that we thought. I think we hoped that we were going to get really. Well, so
Stephen Hunt made sure of that, didn't
he? Yeah. The goalkeepers, those Chelsea keepers, came to Reading that day, and they finished up in Royal Berkshire. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah. I wouldn't surprise you. With John Terry in the goal.
So that's your Arsenal 11. What a team that is. Thank you very much for joining me.
No worries, mate. Thanks for having me.
Definitely going to have you on again.
Yeah, no worries. Soon, give me a shout. I'll do it.
Thank you for watching again, guys, and make sure that you like, follow, share, subscribe. Get involved in any polls as well. And we're going to be on, like I said before, YouTube. We are on TikTok and we're on Instagram as well, and that is at Top Cinco Pod. Thank you for listening again, guys, and enjoy the rest of the week.